Good morning, students. I am Shondip Nandi. Today, I discussed a new topic solid waste management. At first, we discuss introduction of solid waste management. Solid waste refers here to all non liquid wastes. Solid waste can create significant health problems and a very unpleasant living environment if not disposed of safely and appropriately. If not correctly disposed of, waste may provide breeding sites for insects, pests, snakes, and rats that increase the likelihood of disease transmission. It may also pollute water sources and the environment also. Now we discuss about associated risks. First is disease transmission. Decomposing organic waste attracts animals, rats, and flies. Flies may play a major role in the transmission of fecal oral diseases, particularly where domestic waste contains feces. Rodents may increase the transmission of diseases such as leptospirosis, salmonella, and attack snakes to waste heaps. Solid waste may also provide breeding sites for mosquitoes. Mosquitoes of the Aedes lays eggs in water stored in discarded items such as tins and drums. They are responsible for the spread of dengue and yellow fevers. Such conditions may also attract mosquitoes of the Anopheles, which transmit malaria. Mosquitoes of the Culex breed in stagnant water with high organic content and transmit mycofilariasis. In times of famine or food scarcity, members of the affected population may be attracted to waste heaps to scavenge for food. This is likely to increase the risk of gastroenteritis. Now, the next point is pollution. Poor management of the collection and disposal of solid waste may lead to leachate pollution of surface water or groundwater. These may cause significant problems if the waste contains toxic substance or if nearby water sources are used for water supplies. Where large quantities of dry waste are stored in hot climates, this may create a fire hazard. Related hazards include smoke pollution and fire threat to buildings and people. Next point is effect on moral. The effect of living in an unhygienic and untidy environment may lead people to become demoralized and less motivated to improve conditions around them. Waste attracts more waste and leads to less hygienic behavior in general. And my next slide is source of solid waste. There are many sources. In most emergency situations, the main sources of solid waste are: first is medical centers, second food stores, third feeding centers, fourth food distribution point, next warehouses, next markets, and at last domestic areas. My next point is types and quantity of waste. The type and quantity of waste generated in emergency situation varies greatly. The main factors affecting these are: first is the geographical region, that is developed or less developed country or region, and next is socio-cultural practices and material levels among affected population. Next, seasonal variations, that is affecting type of food available. Next, the stage of emergency, that is volume and composition of waste may change over time. And at last, the packaging of food reticence. In general, the volume of waste generated is likely to be small and large degradable where the population is of rural origin and the food rations supplied are unpackaged dry foodstuffs. Displaced urban populations are more likely to generate larger volumes of non degradable waste, especially where packaged food rations are provided. My last slide is different categories of solid waste. First is organic waste. Waste are preparation of food and marketplace etc. is under organic waste. Next is combustible. Combustible. That as the example is paper, wood, dry leaves, packaging for refill items, etc. High organic, it is high organic and low moisture content. The combustible solid waste has low moisture content. It is very essential point, student. Now, non-combustible, that is metal, tin, cans, bottles, stones, etc. That is moisture content is also high or low, but it is non-combustible. And next is ashes or dust, residue from fires used for cooking. And next is bulky waste, tree branches, tires, it is under a bulky waste. Now, dead animals. And next point is hazardous waste, that is the hazardous wastes are oil, battery acid, medical waste, etc. And construction waste, that is roofing, rubble, broke concrete, etc. is under construction waste. And that is the initials, which are the initial step in order to establish effective solid waste management in the affected area. Some procedures should be used, that is first is identify the types of waste, and next identify the source of waste. Please students note it down. Again I repeat, first is identify the types of waste, next identify the source of waste, and third is determine the potential health hazards from waste, and next determine the volume of waste generated, next identify safe collection methods, next identify safe transportation methods, and at last identify safe disposal method. It is the initial steps in solid waste management. I repeat again, the initial steps of solid waste management are, the steps are: number 1, first point is identify the types of waste. Second is identify the sources of waste. Next, determine the potential health hazards from waste. Next point, determine the volume of waste generated. Next point, identify safe collection methods. Next point, identify safe transportation methods. And last point is identify self disposal method. Now it arises a question that is very important, is what are the initial steps of solid waste management? It is a very important question. It is very important question. And second is, and the second question, the what are the different categories of solid waste product? And third question is, write down the type and quantity of waste. And next question is sources of solid waste. It is the assignment. I repeat again all the questions. That my first question is, write down the initial steps of solid waste management system. Second question is, write down the different categories of solid waste. Third question, write down the type and quantity of waste. And my last question, write down the sources of solid waste. Okay, thank you class. Today we discussed more, and in the next topic we discuss about the key components of solid waste management. There are 5 components, that is generation, storage, collection, transportation and disposal. We briefly discussed the generation, storage, collection, transportation and disposal. The main focus in the next topic we mainly focus the key components of solid waste management. Okay, thank you.